seen dollar bill, y'all.
Fred's talking about the best segment in the show, man. I don't know about that. Let's see if we can beat him up right here.
I already know how you feel about him.
My guy.
E.T. phone home.
Super expert, too. You did, bro.
Happy New Year's, Commanders family. Welcome into 2026. And for the new year, we had to bring in the captain to the show. London Fletcher pulls up to get us ready for this final matchup and even brings in some thoughtful gifts. And Commanders family, new year, new segment. Fred and Tanner bring you their can't-miss players in our Week 18 matchup. We'll be taking on the Eagles, and the guys and I are here to break down how we can finish this season strong out in Philly. All that and more right now on Command Center. Welcome into Command Center from the Big Bear AI Command Center studio. I'm your host, Brian Cooper Jr. here with Santana Moss, Logan Paulson, Fred Smoot, and we got the captain in the building, Big Fletch. London Fletcher's in the building. Now, I was supposed to start with Logan, but Fletch, you a guest, man, so we're gonna start with you right now. Because you was out there, Christmas Day didn't go our way. We wanted to play the Grinch. We weren't able to do it. However, we saw a lot of fight, man. How did you see it from your vantage point up in the booth?
Yeah, so I would say this. Starting off with the offense, I thought Josh Johnson did an excellent job, playing the quarterback position. I thought the way we ran the football against Dallas. I told Logan them, though, I wanted to air it out against Dallas because they were the 32nd ranked pass defense, and you saw us be able to make some big plays in the passing game. But I got to say, defensively, we let them get a lot of third and long situations that really was the difference in us winning losing that ball game, I should say.
And Logan, it's hard to ask to air it out when you have a third string quarterback. However, Josh Johnson looked a lot better than people gave him credit for, right?
I think absolutely, man. I think he looked fantastic. I think the thing is, Cliff just seemed to speak to his strengths at a very high level, right? Kind of said, we're not going to ask you to do anything too hard. We're going to make some easy opportunities for you. And I think the other great thing is the team supported him, right? He got explosive plays from Debo, Bill. That's awesome. When the backup quarterback's in, that's exactly what you need.
And Fred, we talked a lot about how important these games are. No, it's not for the playoffs. No, it's not really for wins, but it's for these young guys. It's for these year one guys, these year two guys. What have you seen from these young guys getting a chance to play a little more?
I seen dollar bill, y'all. At the end of the day, when you see a guy like that, see, it's been a long time. We had some good backs around here, don't mistake me. But a game breaker. See, he's a game-breaking back. That was the longest run since Adrian Peterson ran that 80-yard run.
That's
and
crazy.
Then to see Johnny Newton go wild in that game. I really enjoy seeing Johnny Newton because I know London, when you have one of those games, now I believe that confidence that changes everything. So it's good to see the youth go out there and make plays and see can we take that to next year.
And Tanner, we got one more in Philly against the Eagles. How important is it for the development of these young guys that Fred is talking about?
I think it's huge. I think it's huge to come in there in Philly too with that chip. Philly's one of those
Don't forget we fought them last time.
Philly's one of those teams, man, they don't care. They are not going to be back walking into the doggone postseason. They're going to fight you. They're going to be ready for the fight. As far as on the field and the fight that we brought to them last time he was on the field. So I think it's huge, though, for these guys' development and also have a good taste going into the offseason.
And Fred, you mentioned dollar bill, but it wasn't just dollar bill. You also mentioned Johnny Newton. Let's get into our winning numbers because they are all about Johnny Newton. This is our winning numbers brought to you by the Maryland Lottery. Please play responsibly. Now, our year two defensive lineman got it done in a major way, fellas. Newton recorded a career-high 3 sacks on Christmas Day, the most sacks in a single game since Preston Smith back in 2015. Were y'all on the roster back then?
I know they moved
on. Now, Newton totaled 9 tackles and 2 tackles for loss against the Cowboys. Some big numbers for our guy, Jermander. Now, while Logan and London head into the film room, Santana and Fred are going to hold it down and talk more about this Commanders' young talent. This is your Can't Miss Moment presented by FanDuel. Make every moment more with FanDuel, an official partner of the Washington Commanders. Take it away, fellas.
Welcome to Can't Miss Commanders. Fred Smoot, Santana Moss. We're going to give you a couple of young guys that we think can't miss. Let's get this thing started right now, baby. Right here, my guy, Mr. Johnny Newton. Hey, Tanner, I think this guy introduced himself to the NFL. Last week, I thought he had one of those games that changed it. 3 sacks, 9 tackles, the most sacks since Preston Smith, his old teammate. 3 sacks, I thought he was unstoppable.
Yeah, we was waiting for a guy like that to step up. And one of the things, too, that surprised me is just how much they talked about maybe we wasn't playing him in the right spot this year. So
in their rotation.
I was happy to see him get that kind of spark, to that game. And also just knowing going forward, now we can look forward to this offseason, him attacking this offseason the right way and coming back with that same energy.
Who we got next?
All right, in my spot, I got dollar bill,
y'all.
207 260 or 270 something yards away. I believe 226 yards away from 1,000 yards in his rookie season. Now the reason why that's so significant to me because he hasn't really played in every game. He's been sparingly, putting out there because C-Rod get a couple of carries. He get a couple of carries. C-Rod's been taking the bulk of them lately. But he's been one of those bright spots on our team. I think when you think about a guy in the 7th round, you don't expect this guy to come out here and do a lot. But he's been doing way more than what we expected. And I'm looking forward for him going into the offseason just knowing that he significantly kind of, solidified his spot. Told the world that, hey, I'm here to stay.
I got 2 words for him. Game breaker. That's what he does. My next guy, Jordan McGee. Let me tell you something. When I watched the film on it, I already know how you feel about him. I already know how you feel about him.
My guy.
He jumps off the screen. He hits everything that's moving, and he's a guy, to me, that earned more playing time this year. I think he's a sideline guy. What we need to see is can he stay healthy for 17 games? But anything else, Jordan McGee has answered that question. Can I play in this league?
We're going to speak it. He's going to be healthy. Because what's one of the things that we want to see? We want to see a younger linebacker to go out there and make it happen. Some of the things that Bobby do. Now, my guy, my last but not least guy, is Treylon Burks.
Sir.
Hey, I believe, fellas, I'm saying this now, starting to make it. I mean, we come from that division, the NFC East. You always have that Batman and Robin at receiver. When you have Terry for so long doing what he's been doing for us, he need a Robin. He needs somebody that's going to be able to solidify that second spot. I think this young man here, with the second chance that we've given him, I'm hoping that he picks us, he chooses us for next year, knowing he's going to be a free agent. I think he's a star in the making. If he could continue on the pace that he's on, he might be one of those bright spots.
And that's why this is the best segment of this show. Back to you, BC.
That was Santana and Fred's can't miss player in week 18. But let's take a look back at the last time Philly and our Commanders met. Now, that was back in week 16, where the Eagles took a victory 29-18 over our Commanders. The Eagles offense got going with running back Saquon Barkley, putting up 132 rushing yards and a touchdown, while Philly's defense held Washington to less than 100 yards on the ground, but gave up 2 rushing touchdowns to 7th-round pick Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt and to our year 3 guy, Chris Rodriguez Jr. Now, on this week's The Game Plan with head coach Dan Quinn, Logan Paulson and I sat down with Coach and talked to him about the second matchup with the Eagles. Let's check it out. This is your best seat in the house, presented by SeatGeek. The most disruptive idea in ticketing, a ticket that works. Expect the expected. SeatGeek.
Yeah, I think number one, they play really sound, and and sometimes when you play a team that is sound, man, like you can't be disappointed with the the 5-yard run or the 8-yard check down because you're able to sustain a drive. Sometimes you can chase a play because you feel like I need this explosive play. But they've played really sound. They've done a great job going after the ball, the punch and the physicality for it. So we'll have to make sure, as an offense, take what is there, all right, to be able to sustain drives. And if we do that, we've got enough playmakers as you get into these critical situations that they can go do their thing.
That was our head coach, Dan Quinn, as he prepares for this final game of the season against Philly. Now, the Eagles defense will have a little extra help in Sunday's game. Defensive tackle Jalen Carter returned to the field in Philly's Week 17 victory over the Buffalo Bills. Now, the Eagles defense is currently top 10 in the league in passing yards per game, averaging just over 193 yards per game. For more on this Eagles defense, let's send it inside the film room with Logan and London Fletcher. This is Mission Ready, powered by Big Bear AI. Mission Ready AI for a rapidly evolving world.
Thanks, BC. Fletch, I don't know. Fred's talking about the best segment in the show, man. I don't know about that. Let's see if we can beat him up right here.
Oh, absolutely.
So we're going to break down Philly's defense, right? Everyone talks about this quarters match, what's going on here. And so to me, Fletch, this is kind of this traditional quarter structure here, okay? They do it a little bit differently, right? They're in here in a 3-by-1, Fletch. And what I see, or 3-by-2, excuse me, because I'm going to count the back. I know sometimes you don't count the back. But what they do is they man up the backside, and then they'll flood the zone over here to the strong side, pushing this guy over here. So you end up over here with all these defenders, about 5 defenders matching 3 receivers, which is and I think that's kind of a new concept, relatively speaking.
No, actually it's not. It's something that a lot of defense, especially Vic Fangio, who's the defensive coordinator at the Eagles, the reason he mans up this backside, the running back and the single receiver, is because a lot of teams, especially if they put speed at number 3. So if you go back a little bit, that could be a number 1 receiver, could be Terry, could be Debo, could be somebody that you don't want him matched up on a linebacker. So if you don't man up the backside, you don't get that backside safety number 32 coming over. And so that's their answer to your 3-by-1 set.
And then the other thing they do, which I think is great, is they do a really good job in the pattern of matching concepts. I think you can see that really nicely here with Zach Bond, because Bond, again, his eyes are on the quarterback, and he starts drifting, matching the quarterback's eyes immediately, which again allows them to kind of make sure they always are plus in coverage situations.
Yeah, and he's excellent. You mentioned reading the quarterback. So say he was to run a dig.
Yeah, the outside guy.
The outside guy. Quarterback's not reading him. He's not reading Bond.
Yeah.
So I've seen him deflect passes, intercept passes because the quarterback's not reading him. So it's like you said, having an extra guy in that, and it's all because they're going to, like you said, have 5 over 3.
Yep.
They man up on the backside, and it's a difficult structure to beat over and over again.
And again, the thing about it that makes it work is Quinn Mitchell, man. His man coverage this year has been excellent, and so really they get a great coverage player in a good situation, and they get 5 over 3, which is awesome. So again, it's tough to beat. But Fletch, the Washington Commanders, last time they played, did a good job of taking advantage of it. Let's take a look at it. So they're going to motion here to a 3-by-1. So the first thing that jumps out to me, Fletch, is look at 27. This is your best coverage player. Who's he guarding? He's guarding John Bates, right? So let's take advantage of this tendency in the backside of slot. They're going to man it up, right? They're going to say, hey, right here, boom, 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 boom. It's manned up, right?
Yep.
So now we have to stretch a zone. How do we do that? We put speed at 3, like you were talking about, speed at 2. We get these guys running vertical. We stretch the zone out, and we run a little dig in here behind it. It's exactly how to beat the coverage.
And you see what does 32 do? He had to take Debo running through that zone. He has to take him because if he doesn't, Debo's going to be wide open. And you get Terry running the dig, and he wins. Treylon Burks wins. And I love this route concept. I love the play design by Cliff Kingsbury in the offense and even Trey Burks on how he ran that route.
And again, this is the other thing that's really tough. Check out our guy here. Watch Quinn Mitchell here. He does a great job. He understands the tight ends in use, and this is what makes this defense so tough. He gets eyes back to the route concept and almost picks us off. So this is a great concept, but they are trying to match match the hot map on the coverage, and it really makes it tough. And the other thing, too, that I see here, Fletch, is you need to make sure you have excellent pass protection. And on these shots where Philly's getting beat down the field, the pass protection's out of this world because we're stretching zones.
And one other thing, look how Trey widens him a little bit.
Yeah.
If he straight stems, that brings Quinn Mitchell back into the play. He may even be closer to intercept that.
That's a great point. And so I look at this and I say, that's one way to do it. Again, overload, flood zones. The next way is to isolate the bad receiver, right? So here they've put, over here we've got the man player here. That's their second corner. And we get Terry McLaurin in a man-to-man situation on the backside of their match. Remember, this guy's going to play across the field. So to me, this is the other way to get it done. I don't know how do you get this guy over there, but that's what you want.
Yeah, and man-to-man, you've gotten away from Quinn Mitchell.
Yeah.
Quinn Mitchell, one of the best corners in the National Football League. Adoree Jackson, good football player, not to the same level. You get Terry one-on-one with him, run a little stutter and go, and Terry uses his great speed. And now you're just saying, hey, put the ball on me. And that's a great throw by Marcus Mariota against man-to-man coverage.
Yeah, and I love to see it, man. So those are some ways, again, it's one of the most difficult defenses to manage in the NFL, but there are ways to get after it, and Cliff showed he can do that at a high level. BC, back to you.
Now, as the fellas make their way back from the film room, let's take a look at how these two offenses stack up heading into Week 18. The Commanders' run game is top 5 in the league still, with over 134 rushing yards per game. The Eagles' offense is averaging over 311 yards per game, fellas, and just over 22 points per game. Let's take a deeper dive into this final meeting of the season against Philly. This time for securing the W, presented by Hercules Fence. Security in every job. Now, last time I started with London, I'm going right back to London because fans are watching this game and they're wondering. They're wondering, London, how is Philly going to play with their starters? You know, they are in playoff contention. However, they are fighting for that number 2 seed. Right. How do you see them using their starters in a game like this?
I see them using their starters like it was any other regular season matchup. You mentioned fighting for that number 2 seed. Sirianni, going into that game against the Buffalo Bills, he mentioned, hey, there's a big difference between being a number 2 seed and being a number 3 seed. Mm-hmm. If you're a number 2 seed, you get 2 home playoff games, and that's important for him and the Philadelphia Eagles. I think he's gonna play his starters like it was any other game. They're trying to win that football game and hope that the Chicago Bears lose to the Detroit Lions, and they're the number 2 seed.
Tanner, do you see it going that way? You see them playing their starters?
I was against that. But now that London kind of got me on that side or got me on that fence of saying they might do that, if they do, you know, we had an old ball coach here named Coach Gibbs. And he said, you better make sure that they in the ice tub all week
Black
long
and blue.
going into the playoffs. We got to play some of that kind of football. I think it's one of those things, man. Don't get me wrong. We're not in the league, and we're not in the. We don't get paid to hurt people.
Yeah.
But I think when it comes to our rivals, you know what I mean. We want to go out there and make sure
He didn't do a
that
good job.
they not. Yeah, exactly.
Elaborate on that, Fred. Who'd you hurt?
Nobody.
Here go things about it.
Himself.
When I took trips to Philly to play football games, I not only hurt players on the field, I hurt feelings, fans in the field, everybody. I go in on a mission to inflict pain. That's what I'm taught on defense. At the end of the day, this is what I do know about Philadelphia. They do not want to go into the playoffs with Jalen Hurts not completing a pass in the second half of the last game.
That part too.
They do not want to go into the playoffs with them not being in rhythm. But the thing that I really hate about this, the Philadelphia and them bleacher creatures up there in Philly is they can have all this noise and stuff, and they thrive under chaos. They thrive under chaos. The question is, can we bring more chaos? Then they can stop.
Now, Logan, how would you suggest a guy like Fred or somebody in our secondary slow a guy down like Saquon Barkley and all of these weapons that Philly has? Because they have a ton of them. Saquon put up, 134 against us last time we seen him?
Yeah, so I think, actually in that game, outside the long run, they actually did a pretty good job containing him. So I think it's about with him, it's because he's a home run hitter in the same way that Bill is becoming that home run hitter. You need to make sure you play solid run defense for 4 quarters.
Right.
Yeah. I need to own my gap, own my responsibility. I need to, if I'm a 3 technique, I need to play with great technique, great pad level. That's a big offensive line in Philly. They can move you off the spot. I got to be stout, got to be aggressive. And again, like Tana's talking about, you're not here to hurt people. We're here to play physical football. And so I think that's what it's going to take us on now.
That's a typical NFC East battle.
Yeah.
You got to play a physical brand of football, physical style of football. We all know how that game ended here when we played here. The controversial 2-point conversion. Also for DQ and his staff, getting our guys to understand, hey, we still are trying to end on a positive.
Yeah.
It's not about trying to hurt somebody. It's about trying to win a football game.
Yeah, sure.
At the end of the day,
And playing Commanders
go
football.
out, play good football.
Yeah.
Let's win this ball game, and kind of that's the first game of the 2026 season.
Yeah. And that's what I was trying to say before Fred cut me off. I did. You go on.
Well, this one's going to be for Fred in London, because you mentioned that 2-point conversion.
Yeah.
Does that leave a bad taste in your mouth as defenders when you come to place them for a second time?
First of all, sitting beside Fletcher leave a bad taste in my mouth. You know for a fact that if the team come out here, they know they up by multiple touchdowns, and then they go for 2. Like Coach Quinn said, we remember. We get to see these guys 2 weeks from now. That's what he said. He understands their situation, and at the end of the day, it's one of them things, you touch my teammate, I got my teammate back. I don't care how far they go, and I'd like to see them have each other back right there. What you got to say?
Well, it's that pack of Newports you smoke that got that bad taste in your mouth. Let's establish that first and foremost. But I'll say this. That moment, you didn't like it, but now you get an opportunity to go out and play football. And Bobby Wagner said it best. They chose to do that, but it's still our job to go out there and stop them. But you're going to remember that, but you want to go out and play good football, try to win this game to start off our 2026 season on the right note. And I look forward to being up there in Philly. There's nothing like that environment, hostile environment. I kind of compare it to being a gladiator. You walking into the Coliseum. Are you not entertained?
I am not.
Are you not entertained? Let's go get him.
That shook me right there. Now, Commanders family, we hope you pull up to Philly and are in the building making that burgundy and gold and not green. But if you're not, we got some game day details for you. Now, kickoff is at 4:25 p.m. from Lincoln Financial Field. You can watch the game on CBS, but we know you tuned in early to Game Day Live at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. That's myself, Santana Moss, and Brian Mitchell. And then you can also tune into the radio broadcast with London Fletcher, Bram Weinstein, and Logan Paulson on Big 100 or the iHeartRadio app. And speaking of Game Day, I had a chance to catch up with our Pro Bowl punter, fan favorite, on this week's Next Man Up, Mr. Tressway. And it felt like it was very special for this organization and your family, your loved ones, to make that moment special for you. I was just watching it, like right when you walked up, you walking in, seeing your family. This was a surprise for you. Did you not expect to be a Pro Bowl?
No, so I knew I was in the mix. And there's different ways that you can vote. There's different statistics. But man, we were up there. And usually it's your net average gets you into the Pro Bowl. And I was in second by 0.1 yards. And so I was like, I'm technically still in second, but I mean that's pretty good. And, and our inside had a lot of inside the 20s, and our inside the 20 percentage, and the return yard. And so there was a lot of things where I just didn't let myself get too excited, but I just knew I was in the mix. And so that's such a huge credit to AP and DQ and how this organization is. My brother-in-law, who plays for the Milwaukee Brewers, was in town for Christmas, and he was just saying how cool it is that like the team makes an event out of it for you, basically like invites the family and it's a surprise, like the whole thing. And he goes, man, that's really special. Like what a cool way to find out. And so and those guys know me really well by now. That couldn't have hit home any harder. So
now you don't become a 3-time Pro Bowler without putting up some numbers. So let's dive into our top 5 presented by UA Local 5 Plumbers, protecting the health of the nation's capital since 1890. And this week's top 5 is all about our Pro Bowler, Tress Way. Way is in the top 5 in the league in both net average with just over 43 yards and 28 punts inside the 20-yard line. Way is in his 12th season in the league, earning his 3rd Pro Bowl nod. Shout out to the 12th-year punter and his special teams unit for putting up some Pro Bowl stats this season. You can catch Way at the 2026 Pro Bowl games on February 3rd from out in San Francisco. Now, it's time to ring in the new year with the entire Command Center crew. Fellas, it's crazy to think this is the New Year episode. When the year started, we was in the NFC Championship. Now we're not in the playoffs at all. How much can change in a year? So, Tan, I'm gonna start with you.
Yeah.
I wanna know what you wanna keep from 2025 and what you want out, in and out. What you want in, what you want out.
This is the easiest in and out you can never pick. I'm going in with my whole Command Center family.
Oh,
all you guys.
Thank
We're
you,
going back
brother.
to 2026 and out with this badass season. I want no more parts of a season like we just had.
I think we'll all agree with you, Logan. I'm going to you next, brother.
So I'm going to take it from a football standpoint. That was very nice, Santana. I'm in on the offensive line. Laramie Tunsil, Josh Connolly's development. In on that group. I am out on injuries. Leave all that stuff until 2025, man. Let's get healthy 2026.
Fred.
I am in
Oh, gosh.
on Traylon Burks. I think we found something right there. I'm always good with giving first-round picks a second chance and a second home. I am out on London Fletcher growing his hair. I am out. All right, just stop it. Jesus just spoke.
Okay. I'm in on how this season's gonna play out in the offseason in terms of DQ, AP putting the roster together to get us back to where we want to be, which is back in the playoffs. I'm out on.
Oh, Lord.
You know, I got a couple things here, man. I'm out on.
Oh, my God.
You know, this right here. I'm out on this photo right here.
Yes.
I'm out on this photo right here. We need to get rid of this. I'm out on this. I'm out on this.
This is what happiness looks like.
I'm out on this. I'm out on this. You know, I started a company.
I'm doing it, man.
So I told y'all, you know, y'all heard of the ugly Christmas sweater? So the picture, Christmas sweater. It speaks for itself,
I am through it, man. Man, it had something to do with this.
We knew that something was brewing. We knew something was brewing, man.
Hey, Fred, I love this photo, my brother, man. You look great, man. You look youthful.
This is what happiness looks like.
I'm wearing this for Philly.
This is what happiness in about 10 shots of that look like right here. And this is what your Command Center crew looks like. Shout out to London Fletcher for bringing the vibes, also bringing the gift. Shout out to Logan Paul's and Prince, who said Santana Moss, I'm your host, Brian Jr. From out here in the Big Bear AI Command Center studio. Happy New Year. We'll see y'all some more.
Shame on that man.
E.T. phone home. E.T. phone home.
Command Center was filmed at Big Bear AI Command Center Studio. Big Bear AI offers mission-ready AI for a rapidly evolving world, proudly protecting the Washington Commanders and its fans.